morning, everybody. How is everybody on a Thursday? It is wet. It is a wet morning. Good morning to you. My name is Nick Stewart. Welcome, risers. Welcome to the only Facebook Live Santa Rosa morning show. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good morning, El Cuco. How are you? Glad to have you with us today on this Thursday. We've got rain all weekend. Looks like it's going to skirt, just kind of rub us. So we'll get dumped on a little bit, but it's not going to be as bad as everybody else gets, which is fine. The rain messes up my hair. Hey, my name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Welcome to the program. Thank you to being here. Thank you to Milton Post for hosting. It's a good day. Every day that we're able to get together is a good day. 850-771-0049 is the number to call. Also, good morning, Corey. Also, if you text, please, no pronouns. No pronouns. We need nouns and antecedents and things like that. Don't start in the middle of a sentence. Not helpful. Hair, I know. On my back. It's on my back. Hey, I'm glad that you're here today. Your forecast is wet, like I said. Thunderstorms likely, especially this morning, high near 78. Chance of rain, 100%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then mainly cloudy overnight with thunderstorms likely. Gusty winds, small hail are possible. Low near 67, the chance of rain, 60% tonight. Tomorrow, thunderstorms, gusty winds, and small hail possible, high near 76. And the chance of rain, 80% tomorrow. Presently, it's 68 in Milton, it's 71 in Gulf Breeze, 69 in DeVar, and 69 in Pensacola. Welcome. All right. We got some stuff to cover today. What's your input on some of these things? So the question today, does Kamala's not visiting the border show a lack of concern? Because she's been tapped to cover that, but she's not been down there yet. She's not held a press conference on it yet. It's like, meh. So, what is her concern level on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, does Kamala care about the border issue? Does Joe Biden, for that matter? Okay. Let's see what we got going on here today. A candlelight vigil is taking place tonight for missing Milton woman Cynthia Hoover. We held at the Riverwalk in Milton at 7 p.m. at the South Pavilion. Thursday, today, marks 1 month since 60-year-old Hoover was last seen or heard from. Her ransacked car was found days later along I-10 near mile marker 25. Search teams searched more than 70 miles since early March, including areas around the Blackwater River. So prayers to the family, and make sure that you get a chance to go to the candlelight vigil tonight. Support that family. With Memorial Day weekend still more than a month away, people are making plans. And people out in Pensacola Beach are making plans to prepare for what's expected to be a return to some normalcy. Now, Memorial Day weekend will be scheduled reopening of the 3 Mile Bridge. And it's the first big holiday since President Biden set the deadline for all American adults to be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. Does that make a difference? Does that make a difference? Or do you, number one, we don't expect the bridge to be open because scuttlebutt among the Skanska employees is 2022. So should Pensacola Beach get their hopes up? Now, there's some events planned for Pensacola Beach that weekend. Santa Rosa Island Authority says that they're already seeing an increase in permit applications for events that weekend. Car show, Family Beach Festival, Gay Pride event. Even the agency suggests event organizers submit permit requests about 90 days out. So you have to have a COVID safety plan in place. But whatever. But it's not, the bridge won't be open by Memorial Day. It's not going to be. I don't think you're going to have one. I don't think you have two. None of those lanes will be open. Just saying. Not going to the border shows a lack of accountability. Okay. Christmas for the bridge to reopen. Okay. Maybe. This has been extremely burdensome for everybody in the area. Now, whether you use the bridge or not, and a lot do, but whether you use the bridge or not, it is burdensome because it has destroyed business, traffic. So if you didn't use the bridge, but you've had to go out that way, and even if you traveled Avalon Boulevard every day, before that, it's burdensome to you. It's burdensome to employers that are waiting on employees to get to work because traffic's backed up. It's burdensome for families. Gas pricing and it goes up. The amount of travel time goes up. You make those adjustments. And what are we getting from Skanska? What are we getting from Skanska? Excuses, finger pointing. Not my fault. Get the guy on the TV doing this. Yeah. It's not going to be Memorial Day. I hate to break this to you. The bridge is not reopening on Memorial Day. I know Doug Broxton said it was. If it is, I'll be surprised. But my guess is not. My guess is it is not going to reopen by Memorial Day. Good morning, y'all. Glad that you're here. All right. What else is going on? Authorities discovered the body of a female Wednesday afternoon who was killed in a morning hit-and-run collision on Mobile Highway. The Shelby County deputies and state troopers shut down lanes at Mobile Highway and Houston Avenue around 11:50 a.m. to work the scene. According to Florida Highway Patrol, a 49-year-old Pensacola woman was struck by a vehicle in the area around 9 a.m. on Wednesday. FHP says it appears to have been a violent collision which knocked the woman down into a ravine. A 2005 blue Mustang that troopers suspect killed a woman was located in the parking lot of Wood Springs on Detroit Boulevard. Troopers say the driver responsible for the deadly hit and run has turned himself in. The driver's been identified as 34-year-old Charles Noble. Troopers say he turned himself into a Shelby County jail just before 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Corey, what year? What year what? Christmas of what year? Be more specific. So, yeah. This is a very pedestrian area. Lots of people always walking. Now, I don't know the details, but he went back to his hotel, put a tarp over the damaged area of the car, and I don't know, tried to hide it up. But listen, we've got to be careful. Now, this is daytime. The thing at night always gets me. They're probably wearing black clothes and walking in the street, which is always dangerous. But this is daytime. All right. 850-771-0049. I drove by as they were taking her to the ambulance, wrapped and covered. Yep. It is a sad sight, Donna. You hate to see that kind of stuff. But it does happen. Blue Wahoo Stadium has been approved to hold nearly full capacity crowds for the upcoming Pensacola Blue Wahoos 2021 season. New health and safety protocols will be enforced amid the ongoing COVID pandemic. It was announced Wednesday that Major League Baseball will allow the Blue Wahoos to admit near capacity crowds, almost 96%. So, does that 4% make a difference? Face masks must be worn by all fans over the age of 2 while entering and walking around the stadium. Have you tried to keep a mask on a 2-year-old? Are you kidding me? Over the age of 2. So even a 3-year-old, not pleasant. We'll see what happened. Yeah, the cube started going up yesterday. Yep. And do they have the vinyls done? Or are they hand painting them? I think it's vinyls, isn't it? That's a bright move. Covering up the damage area only makes it worse in the end. Yeah. On the car. Yeah, but you can't keep a mask on a 3-year-old. Are you kidding me? It's not going to work. All right, Leanne, very good. I thought it was vinyls. Awesome. All right. So let me ask on the cubes. Let me ask. What is the expected outcome, the impact of the cubes? What's the expected impact? I'm not making a judgment call. I'm just wanting to know what happens. No mask ever, Craig says. I got it. If they require a mask, I won't go. It's that simple. I don't want to wear one. I don't wear one. And here's the other part too, is just because you don't want a vaccine doesn't mean you're refusing the vaccine. It just means you don't want it. I'm not interested in it. I have no care for it. Whatever. But what is the expected outcome of the cubes? What do you expect to be the impact of it? What do you want to happen, and what do you expect will happen? I don't know. That's the question. The suspect. Oh, this is pretty wild. The suspect in a shootout at 9 Mile Road gas station. Remember him? Let me pull up his picture because you got to remember this guy. Yeah, there he is. Remember, he went through the gas station on 9 Mile, fired off a bunch of rounds at some bikers, and came back around, shot again, and then wrote a rap song. Remember that? Yeah, he's back. Delaney Jamal battled Donson, 32. He's now charged with 3 counts of assault, threat to do violence, marijuana possession, and possession of drug paraphernalia after an incident this weekend at Pensacola Honda. Last month, he was arrested following that SWAT team standoff. Remember? So after the shootout, they found him at his house. They had a SWAT standoff. He came out. Free on bond, Battle Donaldson dropped his vehicle off at Pensacola Honda for service this week and returned a short time later, upset that his vehicle had not been serviced. He walked toward an employee yelling vulgarities and moving his hand under his shirt as if he had a gun located there. According to an arrest report, other dealership employees evacuated the area due to his previous aggressive and threatening behavior and his involvement in the Circle K thing. Well, I understand. That's the guy. That's the guy. Manager told Escambia County Sheriff's Office that Battle Donaldson continued to yell obscenities and stated, "Don't make me go off on these blanks." The employee stated that he was in fear for his life and his customers' lives. When deputies searched a black duffel bag carried by Battle Donaldson, they reported finding rolling papers and marijuana. He also has an active warrant out of Gwinnett County, Georgia, for making terroristic threats. He remained in the Escambia County jail without bond. Well, he has to get some more street cred. One thing, shooting and missing bikers does not make you gangsta. To get a rap cred, you got to have a bigger rap sheet. He's a walking time bomb. Yeah, there's something issue. Is he drug addled? Does he have an ulterior motive? I'm gonna do some kind of threatening things, but I'm not really gonna do any kind of real damage and build me some street cred so people will buy my rap stuff. right? You got to wonder. Put him away. Put him away. We don't want him. We don't want him. People like that. Gulf Breeze High School Drama will begin presenting their spring show, Cinderella. It's going to happen April 14th and 15th at 7 p.m. at the Sanger. Number one, I love the Sanger. It's a cool place. All right. So anyway, they're doing the play Cinderella. There's 500 seats per show to fill and a very short timeline. So the kids are working very hard to finish up the year with amazing performance. We need our community support to make this show a success. And it should be good. Now, there was another area, I can't remember where it was, who it was. They canceled Cinderella as the play because it was too white. Too many white parts. I'm just telling you. Travis Rudolph, a former Florida State University football star, is facing murder charges in connection to a double shooting in Lake Park. The shooting happened just after midnight on Tuesday night. There he is. Shooting after midnight on Wednesday. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office said the shooting stemmed from a fight along North Redwood Drive near US 1. First deputies on the scene found a person with a gunshot wounds and a second man shot to death a short distance away. Deputies arrested Rudolph, 25, on charges of murder and attempted murder with a firearm. He's due in court this morning. So, former football star. Now there he is. All right, so there's this. I'm sorry. A proposal to ban transgender females from taking part in girls' or women's high school and college sports is teed up for consideration by the full Florida House of Representatives after a Republican-controlled education panel overrode fiery objections on Tuesday. The House Education and Employment Committee voted 15-6 to approve the proposal, sponsored by Kaylee Tuck, a Republican of Lake Placid, and Rep. James Bush of Miami, the only Democrat supporting the bill. Dubbed the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, the proposal would make the participation in athletics contingent on determining a student's biological sex, and disputing term that refers to the sex assigned at birth. Tuck said that inherent biological differences between men and women give males an edge in sporting events. Now, that picture. Blech. This bill is going to make waves across the nation. And I'm glad Florida's doing it. Now, others have started it, and the governors have backed off. Do not let, I don't think he will, but don't let Governor DeSantis back off this bill. And no vetoing it. Just take it and run with it. This stuff is not needed. It goes against, if you are for women's rights, you don't need transsexuals in women's sports. You don't. It goes against women. All right. Yes, the cube is being put up in downtown Milton. All right. 850-771-0049. Hillary Clinton looked jacked. Hillary Clinton has never looked jacked. I just want to say that. Hillary Clinton may look like a man, but never jacked. The mustache gives her away. That was wrong. A 15-year... Well, let me do this one. Marriott International is testing a new generation of vending machines as possible replacements for the complimentary breakfast buffets of its budget-priced Fairfield Inns and Suites. You're going to get a Jetson-style vending machine. Two branches of the motel brand are featuring what Marriott describes as wall-to-wall bank of self-serve kiosks. In the morning, part of the array provides complimentary hot breakfast sandwiches, along with such cold items as yogurt, cereal, and fruit. Patrons can purchase expanded a la carte items and specialty coffees via Bluetooth connection with their phones or other devices. With travel increasing from severely depressed levels of the pandemic, the lodging giant is also trying self-service terminals that allow guests to check into their rooms and get their keys without any human contact. That's what we need, less human contact. Marriott said this kiosk features new germ-killing technology that incorporate UV lighting. All right. Let's stop there just a moment. The folks in Israel, our friends in Israel, they came out with this 6 months ago, where they were killing the coronavirus with ultraviolet light in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. They could kill the coronavirus in 30 seconds with ultraviolet light. Now, here's this. They have new kiosks that kill germs with ultraviolet light. No. It's not clear whether that safeguard is also incorporated in the grab-and-go marketplaces. The food dispensing kiosks are in place at the two Fairfield properties in Maryland. Meet George Jetson. That's what I think of when I see that. All right. I don't know. I have a hard enough time. When I go to a hotel, I'm like, that's the first thing I ask. What's the breakfast like? Am I getting oatmeal in a packet? Am I getting a Danish in a little cellophane package? I can get that at home. El Cuco says you can't kill COVID-19 and what? You can kill COVID-19 and get and at the same time. I don't know. You can say and get a tan. There you go. You get a tan with the UV light. But yeah, it makes sense. Kim says, can't wait to see the final article. Oh, on the cube. That was a little bit behind. All right. But yeah, so the killing UV light kills the virus. All right, so we showed you this video a while back, a couple weeks ago, and this is a plane that fell out of the sky. So they've got some more information on it. Let's see that video again. Pretty wild. And you see the gas flame. No, they're going to show it again. But watch the little SUV that it hits. Let's go back. Hurry. It goes to it again. Shows it again. Hold on. All right. So a little 4-year-old boy was killed in that event. It sputtered and backfired before it took off. National Transportation Safety Board said it does not say what caused the crash. A witness at the airport told investigators that before heading to the taxiway, the plane's engine was sputtering like a rough idle, and it backfired when the pilot revved the propeller. He said the pilot repeatedly took the engine from low to high power, doing it faster than pilots typically do before taxiing and taking off. A pilot on the ground who witnessed the takeoff told investigators the airplane appeared to slow and had a very low climb. Then he heard the engine shut down. When he looked back, the plane was about 200 feet past the runway and lower than 300 feet in the air. He said the plane still had its nose up when it began to turn right. It quickly stalled, plummeting toward the ground. It clipped that SUV and killed a 4-year-old boy. Pretty wild stuff. Yeah, Donna says eliminating all human contact is insane. So are we going to start going the route of there's going to be businesses and services for people who are afraid? I got a question for you. This pops into me. If you're that scared of human contact, why are you traveling? If you're that afraid of human contact, why are you traveling? Why are you staying in a hotel? If you're afraid of human contact, stay home. Nobody wants to come see you anyway. You're that kind of a person. You're kind of a drag. You're kind of a bummer, and nobody wants to be around you. So stay home. Stay home. 850-771-0049. It doesn't make sense to have hotels where you have no contact with humans. It doesn't. And I'm tired of trying to understand people with those masks pressed up against their lips, and they're soft talkers. Don't be a soft talker with a mask on. I can't take it. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon signed a bill into law Tuesday that will require residents to show some form of identification when voting in person in the next election. While some state Democrats criticized the bill as voter suppression, who is voter ID in Wyoming suppressing? Anybody? It's a victory for the citizens of Wyoming. It's a necessary function for our republic to provide our citizens with confidence that our elections are secure, fair, and valid. I'm proud that we're able to meet this important milestone for Wyoming. Residents will also be able to avoid paying the $10 Wyoming ID card fee if they're getting it to vote. I need an ID to vote. Fine. We don't charge you for that. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? I don't know. A 15-year-old in upstate New York committed suicide just hours after someone he was communicating with on Facebook threatened to release embarrassing photos of him unless he paid thousands of dollars. This story unfolded in Potsdam, New York, a town northeast of Syracuse. Riley Basford, a sophomore at Potsdam High School, reportedly began an online interaction with someone on Facebook before he committed suicide on March 30th. His family said the state police informed them of the interaction after they investigated the contents of his cell phone. He was apparently the victim of an extortion scheme that culminated with a demand for money. The other party obtained embarrassing photographs pretending to be a girl or somebody that, I'm interested sexually, and got him to take pictures and then threatened to expose him to his family and his friends. His family said he just started a new job as a dishwasher and likely panicked because he didn't have the money that they wanted, $3,500. He was normal and happy. The family discovered that the threatening messages from someone on Facebook began at noon. Hours later, he was dead by his own hand. His father said the messages were so manipulative that he feels more like murder than suicide. They continued to bombard him, and they finally broke him. He thought this was the only way out because he didn't want to be embarrassed. The father continued to warn parents to monitor their children's use of social media to make sure that they feel comfortable talking to them about embarrassing situations. If you're a parent and you have children at home, do you have their social media passwords? If you don't, demand them. Demand the passwords. For the phone, you're not locking me out of anything. If I want to check something, I'm checking it. Yes? You're paying for the phone, you're paying for the internet. They are not blocking you out. So no. I don't care. They live under your roof and you want access to it. By God, you're getting it. That's it. And you got to know what's going on. Bark app and passwords. Yep. Make sure you are the parent. Be a parent. Some of these parents are so wishy-washy. Look, you're not there to be their friend. You're not. You're there to raise them. And protection is part of that. And if you don't have their social media access to their social media and their phones, you're not parenting. You're not parenting. Whomever sent the messages should be charged. Accountability. Yeah. Well, they got to try to find them first. So check your kids. Check your kids' stuff. Now, people start too young with children have phones. I think I've said this before. My boys were 12 and 13. We need a phone. Why? Why do you need a phone? Well, to talk to our friends. I'm like, okay, what's that over there on the table? That's a phone. When is the last time you used that cordless phone to talk to your friends? When? Never. And so I said, no. My boys didn't get phones until they were ready for college. Oh, you're so cruel. No, I don't think so. Mary says, I love when my teenager says she hates me. I get it. You feel like a success. Good. I hope it's a long hate. Yeah, that's just crazy. But you're safe. You're safe. You may hate me, but you're safe. This is weird. A devotional book with a prayer asking God to help the author hate white people raised some hackles on social media, and the author responded by defending her anti-white prayer. Screenshots from the book, A Rhythm of Prayer, a collection of meditations for renewal, were widely circulated on social media. The book was on the New York Times bestseller list. That's according to its Amazon page. The controversial passage reads, Dear God, please help me to hate white people, or at least want to hate them. At least I want to stop caring about them individually and collectively. I want to stop caring about their misguided racist souls and stop believing that they can be better and that they can stop being racist. That's racist. Her very prayer about white people is racist. They don't get it. You doing that because she grouped all white people together. If we did that, that's racist. What if we did something like that? If we had said, did a book like that, they would have come unglued. And you would have been marked for they'd have wanted you dead. But she does it, and it's okay. She can write this book and be on the bestseller list on Amazon about hating white people. She's racist. The author of that passage was Dr. Shaniqua Walker Barnes, who describes herself as a clinical psychologist, public theologian, and ecumenical minister whose work focuses on healing the legacies of racial and gender oppression. Wow. Go on Amazon, leave a horrible review for hate, for what's the book? Rhythm of Prayer. She's a racist. All white people are racist, she says, which makes her racist. When anytime you look at the word racist in a dictionary, it's when you characterize a group of people because of the skin color, which she did. She's a racist. Oh my gosh. You're exactly right. Character is the thing. Pretty amazing. All right. Massachusetts parents Shira and Ari have opened up on their child's announcement that the child is non-binary. Shira and Ari's autistic 9-year-old Hillel, was born a boy. But Hillel, according to his parents and WBUR TV, made the announcement that he was both boy and girl at just 6 years old. During one particular round of pretend, Hillel said that younger sister Yara wanted to play parents. Yara, according to the outlet, wanted to be the mother, as she's a girl, and said that Hillel would be the father. Hillel immediately felt uncomfortable with his assignment, their parents said, and responded, but that doesn't feel right, because I'm a boy girl. At 6 years old. Shari said that She took note of their child's proclamation and responded, I was like, well, we love you, whoever you are. Give me a big hug. Ari recalled that it felt like the beginning of a long journey. To clarify, Ari and Shira both known for some time that Halal was not a traditional boy. If they bought action figures, Halal preferred female characters. Halal would watch fairy movies and one day draw dresses, and then the next day act more like what they expected from a boy. Ari and Shar said they never had an issue with their child's expressions of play because they know that there's lots of ways to be a boy and lots of ways to be a girl. Both parents read about people who are transgendered but didn't know anyone who made the transition from male to female or female to male. Shira and Ari were not familiar with the term non-binary, which refers to people who don't see themselves as strictly male or female, or people who move between genders. Halal's self-described status as a boy-girl seemed like it might resolve years of confusion. This is confusion. This came from a 6-year-old child. They fostered that. Now the child is 9 and considers itself a boy-girl. You have done immense damage to this child. Yeah. Some kids are puppies, right? That's how it is. They've lost their minds. Yes, they have. It is abuse. It is abuse, Mary. Not all people. What? What does that mean? Not all people, but I get your point. All children do this. It doesn't mean they know anything. They're kids. Exactly. Exactly. Kids want to be unicorns. It doesn't mean they're unicorns. Parents are so stupid, dumb. Some are so dumb. An op-ed at USA Today Wednesday, 4 U.S. corporate leaders urged their colleagues in business and industry to work to throw out state and federal legislation that seeks to protect children from life-altering transgender drugs and surgeries and to preserve women's sports for women. That's bad. If you want to ban drugs that sterilize kids or make them hormonal or keep them from playing whatever sport they want to as whatever they want to, you're a bad person. The leaders asserted such legislation is bad for their businesses. Chris Adamo, Danone North America Vice President of Federal and Industry Affairs, Brad Fiegel of Mars, Vice President of Public Affairs North America, Molly Fogarty, Nestle USA, Vice President of Corporate and Government Affairs, and Tom Langen, Unilever North America, Director of Sustainable Business and External Affairs, used the narrative of the radical LGBTQ agenda to dismiss the serious life and health issues that children face when they're prescribed drugs that will make them sterile and irreversible surgeries to cope with perceived gender dysphoria. The corporate leaders referred to such bills and those that seek to preserve girls' and women's sports as dangerous, discriminatory legislation. What about protecting the kids? That's what it's about. That's what the law is about. It's about protecting the kids, not the LGBTQ agenda. People. Don says, yeah, a lot of kids think they're puppies. And some of them are housebroken. Not all of them. Not all of them. All right, I want to do this. I didn't get to this yesterday, so I want to show this. This is Greg Abbott. That's Steve Doocy, actually. But Greg Abbott was on Fox and Friends. And Greg Abbott's the governor of Texas, talking about the HR1. This is the big voting push in Washington from the left, where they're taking all the brakes off and letting it run wild because that helps people. So here's Greg Abbott on what he's going to do and what some of the other states are going to do with this. It's pretty interesting. Listen, turn the volume up.
And that's why the mayor is leaving the Democratic Party for the Republican Party. And
oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
Mayor John Lee joins us right now.
I got that yesterday. We did that yesterday. Sorry about that. But Greg Abbott did speak on Fox and Friends, and he said, hey, we're going to hold our elections early so they can't do those things. And we're going to exercise our state's rights, and we're going to, our state and other states are going to do our own thing. And I love it. I love it. Yeah. Sorry about that mix up on the video. All right. What else is going on? Let me see if I get this. I get rid of that. All right. Joe Biden is expected to announce a series of executive actions Thursday on gun control and to nominate a prominent gun control advocate to lead the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. Biden has faced pressure from Democrats and gun control activists to take immediate action to address gun violence in the wake of recent mass shootings in Georgia, Colorado, and California. Biden is expected to direct the Justice Department to issue proposals to curb the proliferation of ghost guns and a proposal to better regulate stabilizing braces. He will ask the Justice Department to publish a model red flag legislation for states to follow as well. Ghost guns are homemade guns made from parts that they get from online. They don't have a traceable serial number. Red flag laws allow family members or law enforcement agencies to petition state courts to temporarily block people from obtaining firearms if they present a danger to themselves or others, or are Trump supporters. Biden will also direct the Justice Department to issue a report on firearms trafficking, which hasn't been done since 2000. Administration official urged that would give policymakers the information they need to help address firearms trafficking. So there you go. That's coming today. Executive order. We're not going to go the proper channels. We're issuing executive orders on these things because we can. There you go. It's coming. It's coming. Donald Trump released a brief statement Wednesday morning on the report saying Congressman Matt Gaetz has never asked me for a pardon. It must also be remembered he has totally denied the accusations against him. Now, someone yesterday said it depends on if Trump comes out and backs him up. Trump has backed him up. He didn't come and ask for a pardon. So there you go. Katie says, I remember when the biggest thing was teaching left-handed kids to be right-handed. Parents were responsible for encouraging appropriate gender roles. Yes, but you're not having in a lot of these homes both parents. Hillel did, but I'll take things. Never happened for 1,000. It'd be hoot if if they would hold the criminals responsible for their actions, gun violence would go down. Yes. I want to go back to this. Let's go back to this. What happened when all this started? The death sentence came off the table. Put the death sentence back on the table. Make it death by firing squad. That's fine. Throw that in there. You could still do electric chair. You could do gas chamber, whatever you want to do. Don't let them choose. That'd be kind of a cool thing, is have a series of things, possible death sentences. And have it on a big Wheel of Fortune wheel. And the victims' families get to spin the wheel. And so it may land on firing squad. It may land on a hanging, but have all of them on there. And so it's just the luck of the draw. There you go. You get the electric chair. Katie says, let them dangle. Katie, you said that Trump verified no pardon, but did not verify innocence on Gaetz. He probably doesn't know. He just says he's maintained his innocence. I mean, if you don't know, if you don't have firsthand knowledge, you can't say, he's innocent. He just said he's maintained his innocence. He didn't ask us for a pardon. That right there destroys that story. That destroys the narrative that Gates went to the White House for a pardon, a blanket pardon. Didn't happen. Didn't add up. All right. But so yeah, we need to have harsher punishment for criminals. You kill somebody, we don't have long drawn out appeals and all these kinds of things. Speedy, speedy, speedy. Trump is very well, he's not really known for that. I mean, really, Katie, think about it. He's not really known for being careful about what he says. That's not a big thing. Jan Psaki got snippy with a reporter on Wednesday who questioned why Vice President Kamala Harris had time to visit Chicago bakery amid the lingering border crisis. Watch this. There it is.
I'd like to pick up the line of questioning on immigration and the border.
Okay.
And ask you two rather quick follow-up questions about some other topics.
You always like yes or no questions. I don't know if they're yes or no. Go ahead.
Answer as you will. But,
okay.
So on immigration and the border, as we discussed here today, Vice President Harris has been put in charge of addressing the root causes of the border crisis. Last Tuesday, she spoke with Guatemala's president, but she hasn't visited the border or Central America or spoken with leaders of El Salvador or Honduras. She was traveling this week, took time to visit a bakery in Chicago. I'm wondering, is she still working on this? And can you address the perception that she's kind of quietly backing off while the Secretary...
Okay, so Kamala Harris is doing everything but going to the border. She went to a bakery in Chicago. Yeah, so listen to the response.
...is pursuing some Trump-era policies, such as potentially building new border barriers and potentially prosecuting people who illegally cross multiple times.
There was a whole lot packed in there, so let me just see what I can do here. First, I would say the vice president was visiting Chicago actually to talk about COVID and the importance of communities getting the vaccine when it's available and accessible to them. And so while she was...
Now, so she was, what she was doing in Chicago was promoting the vaccine. Let Joe Biden do that. Does anybody not know that there's a vaccine out there? Is there anybody? Why does she need to go to Chicago, very liberal, to promote a vaccine? You don't. You don't.
Many Americans, she got a snack. I think she's allowed to do that. But she was there.
She went to the bakery and got a snack.
COVID and play a role, as she's playing a significant role on our efforts to address vaccine hesitancy, communicate with the public about how we can do this, and it's imperative to get the vaccine when it's available. Second, I would say that yesterday, and this was actually a statement put out by her team, USAID announced the deployment of a DART team. We only have these in a couple of places in the world, so this is fairly significant, to respond to urgent humanitarian needs in Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. This is meant to help address the immediate humanitarian needs, whether it's drought, food insecurity, ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, and this is in communities that are still recovering. So that is actually an announcement made by the Vice President's team earlier today. This is absolutely an issue that she is...
So, but Kamala Harris has not really spoken on it. She's not held a press conference. Her team has issued little statements, but nothing's been done. Absolutely zero has been done.
In the lead on the Northern Triangle, which I'm sure you're aware of, but is not the same as the border. They're all related to each other, but addressing the being responsible in the lead on the Northern Triangle is working with these countries in the region, addressing the root causes, working with them on how we can address issues like long-term food insecurity.
So they're working with the countries in the Northern Triangle, addressing the root cause rather than handling the issue at the border. She's going to the root cause that will take years.
The COVID-19 pandemic, hurricanes, etc.
Food insecurity. We're going to address. So here's what they're going to do. The drought, food insecurity.
She's focused on. I don't have an update on when she'll travel. I'm sure it will be
COVID-19 pandemic, which we have here. So she's going to go. She's going to help those countries in the Northern Triangle to help them with their food insecurities, drought, and COVID, which means giving them money, to solve our problem at the border, which is in crisis mode, and it's costing us money. Thank you, Jen Psaki, for making that so clear, that the vice president is doing nothing. And all Joe Biden is doing is signing executive orders. He's not doing anything either. This is a freak show. It's a freak show. And they need to go away. She got a snack. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will travel to 2 Texas border towns on Thursday. One in El Paso and McAllen, Mayorkas plans to meet with local law enforcement, Homeland Security employees, and immigration advocates about the nation's migrant crisis. Neither President Biden nor Vice President Kamala Harris are scheduled to accompany Mayorkas to the border. Biden put Harris in charge, but we know she's not gone there and has no plans to visit there. Mayorkas' visit also follows Texas Governor Greg Abbott's call Wednesday for San Antonio migrant housing facility to be shuttered amid allegations that some children living there have been sexually assaulted. Mayorkas took a hard line on border security while speaking with Immigration and Customs Enforcement employees last week. According to the Washington Times, he said he would fight sanctuary cities that don't comply with the agency and wants to see an increase in deportations for illegal crossings. He will not have his job very long. You'll see him resign or whatever. We're not going to get the full truth of events at the Capitol on January 6th from politicians or dishonest media. The Freedom of Information, what is the name? I can't remember the name of the group. They filed I'm sorry, I cut it off. They filed a petition, a lawsuit to get the I'm sorry, I had a stroke. I just had a stroke. No, they filed to get the autopsy. Thank you. The autopsy report from the Capitol Police Officer Sicknick. Why did he die? How did he die? All records, including but not limited to autopsy reports, toxicology reports, notes, photographs, and OCME officials, electronic communications related to the death of Brian Sicknick. Now, here's the thing. They keep saying, Judicial Watch, thank you very much, Keith. Appreciate your help. So Judicial Watch has filed this suit. Now, here's what we know. They keep saying the Capitol Hill riots where 5 people died. 2 died from heart attacks. 1 died from a stroke. 1 was shot by Capitol Hill police. I guess 1 died of a heart attack, 1 stroke. 1 was shot by Capitol Hill police. Another that they said was trampled by people was not trampled by people. She died of a drug overdose. Methamphetamine. She died of a drug overdose. And then you got Sicknick, who they originally said, and some are still saying, he was beat to death with a fire extinguisher. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So they are withholding. They know why Sicknick died. They're not releasing it. So the only one who died because of the riot is the Babbitt, who was shot by a Capitol Hill police officer. That's the only one who died as a result of the riot. It's not what they're putting forward. And the whole thing for the riot, the prosecution, is falling apart. It's all falling apart. Republicans have slammed Kirsten Gillibrand for tweeting Wednesday that paid leave, childcare, and caregiving are infrastructure. Gillibrand's tweet has gone viral in defense of President Joe Biden's $2.25 trillion infrastructure proposal, which includes line items beyond traditional infrastructure, subsidies like paid leave, childcare, caregiving, housing, kitchens for healthier school lunches, corporate tax hikes, elder care, and research and development to address the warming of the globe. Some view that Gillibrand, along with Biden administration, is attempting to perhaps reinvent the word infrastructure. You think? So the GOP responded to her tweet. And here's what they said. Abortion is infrastructure. Gun control is infrastructure. Forced unionization is infrastructure. Whatever the left wants is infrastructure. You know what's not? Roads and bridges. Only 5% of Biden's infrastructure bill is roads and bridges. So they have gone off the rail. The Democrats have gone off the rail. They're including everything in infrastructure that's not. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it. Yeah, she just made a quick, I'm just going to be like a regular person, get a snack. Come on, freak. But look, they are cramming everything into this infrastructure program. And it's not infrastructure. 5%. 5% goes to roads and bridges. The rest is crap. They are wasting your money. Oh, here, you love this. Here's our buddy. Nearly 200,000 illegal aliens living in New York will soon receive $2.1 billion in taxpayer-funded stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. By the way, you paid for that. Remember, we bailed them out just in this last stimulus. So they're getting $2.1 billion in taxpayer-funded stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. While more than 1 million jobs have been lost in New York and an estimated 80,000 New York businesses may not make it to the end of the Chinese coronavirus pandemic, Cuomo and elected state Democrats agreed on a budget deal that provides billions to illegal aliens at the taxpayers' expense. Nice. Jeff says, can you really classify January 6th as a riot? No. The real riot last year was deemed mostly peaceful. Sure, a couple of windows were broken. Buildings burned. People died. More people died. It pales in comparison to the $2 billion in damage. Yeah. So we are, you and I, it's not New York. They gave it away, but we gave New York the money. That's my money. That's your tax money that we sent to bail out New York, and they take it and they give it to illegal aliens. Fascinating. I find that fascinating. What are we doing? How do people like this guy is a criminal, and he killed 15,000 people. Spin that wheel. Let's find out what the punishment is. All right, kids, we got to get out of here. Hope that you have a great Thursday. It's going to be wet today. May get some hail tonight and tomorrow. Be aware of that. And we'll see you tomorrow morning on a Friday here on Sunrise Santa Rosa. Thank you so much for joining us. Like it, share it, and we'll see you then.